has many difficulties, and democracy is not perfect. But we have never had to put a wall up to keep our people in.
Take me back to a place where I felt at home. Take me back to a day when we weren't alone. Take me back to an age when the world felt small. Way back before we blew it all.
Hey folks, welcome back to Trucking and Politics. My name is David. I know it's been a minute since I've done a video. There's been some crazy things going on around here. That's Mr. over there. That's Mr. Melvin. He's chasing a bug that has gotten in here. So you may get some entertainment watching him jump around. There's been some crazy stuff going on around here. For my subscribers, for people that want to know exactly what's going on, I think it's fair that I put out a video for you specifically. If you're just coming across this video because of the title, the thumbnail, or whatever, I am going to try to stay on subject about what I'm talking about here. If you're curious about the channel and you're curious about what's going on with me, you like the content or whatever, stick around for the next video, and hopefully you'll be a new subscriber. And we're getting more every day. I appreciate everyone. For whatever reason you're here, I appreciate everyone being here. So in my situation here, I have been a truck driver for 23, 24 years. Currently, I am unemployed. I am not working whatsoever. I still consider myself an owner-operator. I still have my truck. I will bring that up in the next video. This video here is because I have been looking at company driving jobs. The reason why I am looking at company driving jobs is because I will get to that in the next video as well. So this video specifically is about trucking companies, the lies that they tell, and why we are in this situation with trucking. If you know or don't know, we are making history in trucking right now. We are making history. We have more trucks on the road, commercial trucks on the road today than we have ever had in the history of the United States. I think the last count was around 4 million. And this is just semi trucks. This is not including hot shotters, RV haulers, the other commercial trucking companies, the other commercial drivers, Bob trucks, Class B CDL holders. I'm talking Class 8, Class A, the letter A drivers, combination vehicles. There is more of them on the road today than there ever has been in history. And the number keeps growing. Well, why? Well, because they say that we are heading into a recession. It is my opinion that this is a made-up recession. It is not something that needed to have happened. I think it was done on purpose for a reason. That's the politics of this channel. I can do a video on that later. I'm not going to get into that with this or the next video, but I believe there's a politically charged reason why we are going into this so-called recession. It's not. It is done on purpose. It's the Great Reset, as they call it. But anyway, let's get into this. Why trucking companies lie. And if you are a trucking company owner, if you hire truck drivers, you ought to be ashamed of yourselves. I'll just put it plain and blunt to you. I know personally one trucking company owner, and I've told him flat out, dude, you ought to be ashamed of yourself. And he laughs about it. He thinks it's funny. And I said, it's not funny. Because he knows what's going on. And this is what's going on, folks. Anytime that you have supply and demand. I used to manage in a grocery store. I used to be I made it up to assistant manager of the store. You have supply and you have demand. Okay, if everybody in the country, except for a certain area of the country, let's just say they ran out of a staple like flour, but one warehouse was loaded up with flour, and it only served a couple of stores out here, and those few stores that had flour in stock and no one else had it, they can name their price. They could put it out there for $100 for a 5-pound bag of flour, and people would probably buy it because it's supply and demand. There has been a thing going with trucking for as long as I can remember. A driver shortage. Oh, there's a driver shortage. We can't meet our expectations of our customers unless we get more drivers in with this company. We're coming up short. We need more drivers. We need more qualified, experienced, good drivers. Okay, well, let's use me for an example. There is a reason that I'm going back to wanting to drive a company truck. Like I said, I'll get into that in my second video. I have specifically asked these companies that I'm calling, do you pay more for experience? Oh, yeah, of course we pay more for experience. Do you have a good driving record? A safe driving record? Are you a job hopper? Do you job hop and go from one company to another? They want to know 1,000 questions before they answer your question. Do you pay for more experience? The ones that say they do pay for more experience, they'll give you a penny or 2 pennies a mile more for 20 years of experience. Oh yeah, we pay more for experience. The truth of the matter is, folks, someone that is just getting out of driving school today in 2024 will make about the same money as someone that has been driving for 30 or 40 years. You know, you're making about the same money. A couple $100 more or less per week, and it averages out about the same. Now, there is a YouTuber out here, he and I have had some heated discussions about it, and he wants to say, oh, the trucking company I work for has the best benefits, the best pay, the best overall. It's the best in the industry. You will never in a million years find a better company than this. And then he put out a video of him sitting in a parking lot in a winter storm with 2 or 3 feet of snow on the ground, making absolutely nothing. Nothing. Now he will offset that and say, oh, well, they'll pay me layover, they'll pay me detention, they'll pay me hazardous weather driving, but it will always be less than what his mileage pay would be if he was running down the road. So therefore, he is getting paid nothing. And that's just the way trucking companies work. If they're not making money, how can they pay you money? That's what this is all centered around. And it's getting more competition. It is getting stiffer competition. Inflation is up. The value of the dollar is down. They are heading this into a recession. Our national debt is higher than it's ever been in the history of the United States. So when you add all of these things in together, what always happens is the driver gets the bad end of the stick. The driver draws the short stick every time. It is like a thing that I said with the manager of the store I worked at years ago. He had a store meeting one day. Sales were down, competition was up, things were happening. He was getting frustrated, he was getting angry, had a store meeting in front of everybody and said, look, when this comes down to it, everybody here can lose their job before I will lose my job. This is what this store manager was saying. I don't care if everybody quits. I don't care if everybody in this store gets fired. I don't care if everybody here gets a pay cut. Everything will happen to you before it happens to me, because I will assure you I'm the store manager and I will retain where I'm at. So you are going to work harder and you will carry the load, carry the burden, and I will make sure of it because I'm not risking my job. I'll risk yours every day of the week, but I'm not risking mine. We had a lot of people quit that day for good reason, for very good reason. He was a jerk. So, what is going on with trucking is competition's getting hard. Inflation's going up. Cost of living is going up. Fuel's going up. Everything is getting tightened down, but we've got more truck drivers on the road, more miles being ran, and it's a perfect storm to where driver wages, driver salaries is going to be pushed down. It's going to be pushed down. We're in what they would call a contraction right now. Well, if there was a driver shortage, if there was, which there's not, but if there was, it would be booming for independent contractors and owner-operators, and they would be making mints of money. They would be making their own paycheck. They would be out here busting out $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 weeks for doing very little work, and that's not the case. Supply and demand. We have an overly saturated trucking industry. There's too many truck drivers in the industry. There are too many companies in the industry. There's too many employers. There's too many employees. And there's not enough owner-operators and not enough independent contractors to fill in the gaps. So what does the industry do? They go petition Congress and they want to get going with this independent contractor rule that's supposed to come out here in just a few days, March 11th. That tells me that there is no driver shortage. There is not one at all. So, in all fairness, with the channel here that I do, I try to give you real information. I don't want to mislead you. I don't want to give you false information, false hopes, or anything. And there is a ton of it out here on YouTube. I catch YouTube content creators every day giving out false information. One, for an example, that I think is humorous is right after I started this channel, I was looking around to see who did the subject matter of trucking and politics. And I found out there is a lot of truck drivers out here doing videos about truck driving. There's a ton of them. A few of them I've talked to on the phone. A few of them I've had conversations with in comments. Really good guys. Some of them are. Some of them are retired at a very early age. They're very young and they're already retired from trucking, and they're making their living off of doing YouTube videos, and they are spewing out false information. They are fear mongering. Every video that comes out, the federal motor carrier is going to do this to you. Our federal government is going to do this to you. You're going to lose your job in 2024. They're fear mongering. And they're making thousands of dollars a week doing it off of YouTube by giving you wrong or misleading information. They are leeching off of your fears. One in particular gets anywhere from 20 to 50,000 views per video that he puts out. And it's because people are living in fear. And he is feeding off of that fear. And I don't like that. And I don't like the stuff that he's putting out here. I wouldn't like this guy if I met him in person, because I would tell him flat out, dude, you need to be honest with people and tell them what you're doing with your channel. You're feeding fear. Is what you're doing. You're feeding fears into people. I want to tell you the truth. I want to be honest with you. And here are some of the things that trucking companies will lie to you about. One just lied to me just the other day. I was calling around looking for a company job. It was a local company to me here. And this is something else that I want to tell you folks about too. Don't go to the big companies first. The mega carriers. Look how many trucks. Here's the best way to find out what is a mega carrier. Look at how many trucks they have in their fleet. If they have 20 or 30,000 trucks in their fleet, they don't care about you. They don't even know you. They will never know you. You're just another butt in the seat of a truck. And that's all you mean to them. You can be replaced like that in a second. Literally within a second. You say, I quit. They grab another application off their desk. This guy looks good. Pull that guy off of the truck and put this guy in the truck. Let's keep going. That's what mega carriers think of their drivers. Right there. And the more you go up in line with the number of trucks on the road, the more this holds true. You can be replaced at a split second. So do you think that you're going to mean the world to that trucking company? No, you're not. And people are putting these YouTube videos out here left and right. Oh, I work for this mega carrier as a company driver, and this is how many thousands of dollars I made this month. It's lies, folks. It's lies. I've been in trucking for over 20 years. It is a lie. So it's not just trucking companies that are lying to you. It's YouTube content providers that are lying to you. So with that being said, the bigger the company are, probably the bigger their lies are going to be. You know. Here's one big thing that a lot of companies will say out there. We run exclusive customer freight. Lie. There is not a trucking company in the United States. I don't care how big or how small you are. I don't care if you are a one truck organization or if you are a 20 or 30,000 truck mega carrier. You will run brokered freight. 100% guaranteed. Now, There are some places out here that do specialty heavy haul, mobile home movers, for an example. Very specialized thing. RGN, heavy haul, stuff like this. Yeah, I mean they're probably gonna run 100% company freight. If you're talking about Joe Blow trucking company out here that does dry vans and reefers, or dry vans, reefers, and flatbeds, the big three of the industry out here, you will pull brokered loads. Now, you as a driver may not know what one is company freight and what one is a brokered freight. You may not know that information. They may not give that to you. You know, you may pull a load from Omaha up to Effingham, Illinois, and they say drop it off at the terminal. You don't know what that load is. You don't know if that is a customer load or a brokered load. It could be anything. But don't believe the lies that we run 100% company freight, because it's a lie. It is an absolute lie. So, with that being said, don't believe that lie. Don't be misled on that. And more than likely, if you're just getting paid per mile to run freight, it doesn't matter if it's company or brokered load. But these companies want to brag about stuff like that. Oh, we are exclusive company freight. We might haul a brokered load every 6 months. Lie. Total lies. Lies, lies, lies. It's just to make them sound good. You know, that's all it is. Next, we are an established and solid trucking company, and we are debt-free, so we can weather the storm, we can weather the ups and downs. I proved this with my video about Heartland Express. They advertise on their website they are a debt-free company. False information. That's a lie. Heartland Express is not debt-free, and they have not been debt-free for many, many, many years. In fact, they are in major trouble. So if you work for Heartland, Millis, CFI, or Smith Transport, either one of those companies, they're all owned by Heartland Express, and they are all in debt. That is the truth of the matter. Now, even a company out here that is truly debt-free, that is 100% debt-free, that has no debt in their company whatsoever, all it's going to take is one big major screw up and they're done. They have 2 fatality wrecks that happen within 2 or 3 days of each other. That company's going to be all over the news, and they're going to get slammed, and they're just going to go belly up. It will happen that quick. And you can't provide anything to stop that. It's just going to happen. So that's what a lot of these companies are out here, are just boastful and bragging companies. And they will feed you full of lies. Any company can go out of business at any time. They lose several customers and they're done. They overbid accounts and someone comes in and takes the account away from them. They're done. Another lie is we have the highest pay in the market. False. Think about it, folks. Think about it in a common sense mannerism. Just like if you get, let's say that you are an independent contractor and you get $17 a mile from a customer, Every mile you run, you get $17 a mile. And you go out and start bragging about it. You start telling everybody, I get $17 a mile from this customer. I make the greatest money that ever was. I can afford anything I want to afford. You start running your mouth about that. You start bragging and boasting about that. And guess what? Somebody's going to come in there and bid it for $16.50 a mile, and you're going to lose that account. I've seen it happen 1,000 times in trucking. It is a cutthroat business. It is a dog-eat-dog, backstabbing, cutthroat business. So go out there and brag that you get the best pay in the industry, and you watch your trucking company get flooded with applications. But guess what? It's a lie. You know how I know it's a lie? Because if you paid $1 a mile as a company driver, if you work for this company and you got paid $1 a mile for every mile that you run for this company, and everybody else in the industry is getting 40 and 50 cents a mile, that company would not be advertising for drivers. They would have so many applications. They would have a stack of applications a mile high on their desk because everybody would be working for that. I have a good friend that does this all the time. Oh, I only ran 300 miles today and I made $1,000. And I'm like, you're lying. That's exactly what comes out of my mouth. No, that's what I get. And I said, no, you're not. You're lying. Well, I know what I'm talking about. And I said, prove it. Let me see your check. Well, I can't do that. Let me see your settlement sheet. I can't do that. You know why? Because it would prove you wrong. Because you're lying. These trucking companies out here, if they promote that stuff, if it sounds too good to be true, you know why? Because it is. It is too good to be true. And you just bought their story. You just bought it. And it's a lie. The other is, we will get you your maximum pay rate in 6 months if and when you meet all of the criteria we set out for you. You have to be on time with your deliveries. You can't have a driver error. You can't be shut down by the DOT. You can't have a speeding ticket. You can't have an infraction. You can't have any of this. They put you at the top of the pinnacle. And in 6 months, we will reevaluate you. This is the reason that I quit the last company that I'm with. One of the reasons I quit them. Because they said they paid for experience. They did. They said they paid for experience. And I told them, I've been a truck driver for 23 years. I'm not coming in here and busting out 3,000 and 3,500 miles a week to make a paycheck. I'm not doing it. So if you're not going to give me the pay that I want to make, let's make a deal right now and then I won't work for you. No, it won't be like that. We're going to make sure that you get your pay. We have a guaranteed minimum pay. As long as you show up for work, as long as you do what we ask of you, then yeah, we're going to do what we do for you. And experience pays. Experience pays here. We want good driver retention. Lies. Lies, 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 lies. No, they don't. If they could pay you $50 a week and get by with it, they would do it. I promise you they would. When it started coming up on time for my review, I started pressuring them. I've done this, I've done this, I've been a good driver, I've done what I've been asked of you, I have helped you as a company. I helped them rearrange their dispatch office to where it ran smoother. I helped them get an account with this trucking company to where they could make more money. When it come time for them to cough up the dollars and pay me more, this is what the manager in the trucking company did. I walked in, the very first thing out of his mouth, he did just like this. You're not getting a raise. We can't afford it. I said, okay. You don't want me here any more than I want to be here then, right? Well, if that's the way you want to look at it, that'll be fine, but we're not giving you a raise. We can't afford it. And I said, you promised one. Yeah, well, we're not giving you one. You know why? Because it goes back to the supply and the demand. They had more applications on their desk for drivers willing to work cheaper than me. So they were like, you know what? Screw him. Let's get him out of here and throw him out. We definitely aren't going to give him a raise because we know this guy over here that's already said that he'd run 3,500 miles a week. We'll get him, and he'll run way more than Dave will over here. So let's get this guy, and we'll be way ahead. Well, what they don't know is I've been there and I've done that. And I'm going to tell you guys right now, you company drivers out here that's doing this, what you're going to do is you're going to burn yourself out. Because I've been there and done it. I used to run paper logs. I used to run a W900 that would run 100 miles an hour on paper logs. Back in the day, I did it. And you know what? It burnt me out. It gets to be a point where you can just run and run and run and run and spend weeks and weeks, if not months, out on the road. And all of a sudden, one day, it just all falls down on you. And you're just like, that's all I can do. And you know what? These companies don't care nothing about you at that point because they have gotten used to it. They've gotten accustomed to it. This is exactly what they want. So when you put up the surrender flag and say, that's it, I'm calling it, I'm throwing the towel in, I've had enough, let me have a break. It's too late now, buddy. It's too late now. You done showed them you can do it. You done proved you can do it. So either you're going to keep doing it or you're going to be out of there and they're going to find somebody else that is willing to do it. You're selling yourself short, so know your worth. That's why I want to give the information out on this channel. That's why I want to give all of this. That's why I keep calling for trucker unity. But you guys have to do your part. Quit selling your soul for $1. You're better than that. If you are a good driver, and you're a good quality driver, and you're a good qualified driver, quit accepting the mud. Reach for the stars, quit aiming for the ground. Go higher, push for more. Tell these trucking companies you deserve more. If you're in a job where it's a dead-end job and you feel like you're losing, quit trying to make that company do it. If they're not going to do it, quit trying to wear all your resources out trying to make them do it and go find something better. Start talking to people. Where can I find a better job? Open your mouth and open your ears and open your mind and look and try to find something better. If we all worked together and we all had the same goal, we would make this industry better. Quit believing the trucking companies' lies. You guys have a great day. Thanks for watching.